Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Every now and then a story pops up on my radar where it looks like somebody took several of my old videos and ran them through a blender and said, here you go. You like this, you like that, and you like this? How about all of them in one story? So the headline from the denverchannel.com, which is ABC7 out of Denver. Kevin, Phil, and Dick all sent this. Carvana needs to be stopped. Denver man says online car retailer sold him a stolen, damaged vehicle. So you immediately spotted Steve. Carvana. You've talked about them before. Yes, I have. Jacqueline Allen wrote the story. Denver man says Carvana, which of course is the online used car seller, sold him a stolen car with serious damage that he didn't discover until later. And of course, Carvana is all over the place right now. They even had an ad in the Super Bowl. And when this man saw the ad, he said, it was a sad commercial for me. I don't want anyone to experience this. So the Denver resident had wanted the hassle-free car buying experience that Carvana advertises. At first, I thought it was the most enjoyable car buying experience that I've had, he said. 7 months after he bought the vehicle, a repo truck hauled it out of the driveway. It's very embarrassing. Just the humiliation has been extremely painful. Police reports show the car had been stolen in Memphis 7 months before this man bought it from Carvana. This was a Hertz rental car that was at the Memphis airport and had been stolen, then somehow retitled in California. It's according to an attorney who's working on the case. He said, so there are multiple open titles on this car. And yes, this is a Hertz car that actually was stolen. And we've talked about Hertz cars and whether or not their cars are stolen when they report them as stolen. So somehow this car got stolen from Hertz, got taken to California, and a new title was issued for it somehow, and then it wound up in the Carvana system and sold to the guy in this story. He was able to get the car back, but then he found out the car was not only stolen, but also had sustained prior damage. So the attorney working on the case says, my theory is they discovered this during the inspection, and they decided, well, we'll just sell it anyways without disclosing it. And you recall that Carvana often advertises that if you get the car and aren't happy with it, you can return it. That plays into this. The vehicle condition report, by the way, from an inspection company, detailed wrinkled sheet metal, missing bolts, and a bad radiator. The vehicle is considered a total loss due to the previous crash damage. And the guy from the inspection company said you can't run it through an inspection and not notice these problems. It was unsafe to drive. I was shocked to see that, but it's not the first time I've seen damage like that on a Carvana car. So the guy says he's seen this type of thing before. Said he has seen 4 to 5 Carvana cars with serious issues of this magnitude. I've noticed that Carvana has a habit of shipping you the worst car in their inventory. And if you refuse that in the 5-day window, then they'll send you a better one. And he said, I've seen that 4 or 5 times in a row. And here's the thing. If you go into Carvana, they got all these cars listed. And I was under the impression you picked an actual car and go, I want that car. But this guy's saying, well, they've got a bunch of cars, and they got so many cars, that they'll have a bunch that are often similar to each other. And so you say, I want one of these cars. They'll send you the worst one they've got and hope you keep it. If you don't, you say, I don't want that one. And they'll go, you want a better one? And they'll send you the better one. So they start at the bottom, work their way up. At least that's what he's saying. Now, I've never bought a car from Carvana, so I could be wrong a little bit on some of that. Carvana promises a 150-point inspection. The company has not responded to contact Denver 7 about this man's allegations, but has issued a motion to have the arbitration case thrown out. So apparently Carvana can force you into arbitration instead of a lawsuit. And so they filed for arbitration, and Carvana has asked to have the arbitration thrown out. But the interesting thing is that they promise the vehicles have gone through a 150-point inspection, which sounds a lot like a certified pre-owned car. And I've talked before about how certified pre-owned cars are often touted as having a multi-point inspection of some sort, and then you get a longer warranty from the factory. But you can go through the fine print in every single company out there that does a certified pre-owned from a factory, and they will tell you that that inspection is not a warranty. The inspection is something we do so the factory can say we're satisfied enough to put this warranty on this vehicle. But this warranty that you get from the factory is between you and the factory. The inspection is between the dealership and the factory. And I've had a lot of people say, Steve, I bought a car with a 298-point inspection, CPO. And they couldn't have inspected it or they wouldn't have missed all these things. And I say, yeah, but show me where that inspection is a warranty that you can enforce. And then they look around and they go, oh, you're right, it says on the website right there that I can't count on that if I'm the consumer. Meanwhile, Carvana is building a car vending machine in Denver and expanding in the state. Now, I understand the concept as a marketing tool, the vending machine being kind of cute, but there's certain things you can't buy from vending machines. And now you're going to say, Steve, they've got them, therefore you can. I'm just questioning whether it's a wise thing to use the vending machine paradigm for this. Because when you walk up to a vending machine, you look inside and you say, oh, they've got Twix, right? They got Twix. You put money in, you get your Twix bar. But that works because, number one, you know what a Twix bar is and you know what to expect when you get it. You don't have to take it for a test drive or do a title history search on it or any of that. Take it out and have your mechanic look at it, okay? And a vending machine suggests that you can walk up and in such a trouble-free manner, put your money in and get your product out. And that's not how you buy cars. So they can keep doing it. I don't care. But I've always thought that the vending machine thing was a cute marketing tool, but nothing more. Colorado regulators have also had complaints, but stated that if a point of sale is out of state, their investigators do not have jurisdiction. So Colorado is saying, well, we can't get involved because, Carvana is nationwide and whatnot. Understand the regulators are not going to regulate them, says the attorney. So you're in the wild, wild west if you buy a car from Carvana. The man here who bought this car said he can't safely drive his car, so he bought an identical car from another dealer while he takes Carvana into arbitration next month. But of course, we said Carvana's asked to have the arbitration thrown out. He said he can't sue the company because of the way their contracts are written. And he says they offered to rewind the deal. He wants the company to pay off the car and for other costs he's incurred as well as to change its policies. It's kind of a slap in the face after everything we've gone through and the additional expenses. Carvana needs to be stopped. Now, he says Carvana offered to rewind the deal. I've always heard the phrase unwind the deal. That's not necessarily like a legal term, so I'm not sure if either is more correct than the other. But we often talk about unwinding a deal. So you go to a dealership and you find a car you want to buy and you say, I haven't got the money, I'm going to finance it. So you put money down on it and you sign a retail installment sales contract. And then you get the vehicle and the vehicle gets titled to you with a lien on it by the lender, assuming that they, in this example, let's say that they lined it up for you. And you make a couple payments and you discover there's a problem with the car. To unwind that deal would be for you to bring the car back into the dealership, give it back to them, have them refund to you all the money you've paid into the car, and get that loan extinguished. And that involves a whole bunch of stuff, including a lender. So unwinding a deal can be a pain. Now, obviously, if you paid outright cash for a car, you walk in the dealership lot, they want $20,000 for the car, you say, here's $20,000, you hand them the cash, they hand you the keys and the title, and you drive off. Unwinding that deal is much easier. You simply come back in, you give them the keys, the title, and the car, they give you the cash, and you walk out with some paperwork. So unwinding a deal, it depends on how complicated it is. Usually the longer it goes on, the harder it is because, among other things, the car has got miles put on it. And they'll often say, oh, well, we sold it to you with 17,000 miles. Now it's got 18. Who would want such a car? So we'll see what happens. But I just thought it was funny that there was an intersection here with Carvana and Hertz and a stolen car. Somebody up there likes me. What can I tell you? The DenverChannel.com ran at ABC7 Denver. Jacqueline Allen wrote it. Phil, Kevin, and Dick sent it to me. And the man says, Carvana needs to be stopped, says an online car retailer sold him a stolen, damaged vehicle, previously reported stolen by Hertz. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Relax. One bad chapter does not mean it's the end of the book.